Hi guys, it's Gabrielle Hodges. This is my content lit vocabulary research analysis presentation. I shortened the title to Opinions about Vocabulary Instruction by Reading Teachers, and this is my citation. So the purpose/research questions. So what was the focus of the author's work? What were they aiming to find out? So the focus of the author's work was to find out why vocabulary instruction is disappearing in classrooms and becoming a neglected area in teacher education and professional development. And the authors were aiming to find out what questions and concerns teachers had about vocabulary instruction. So their questions that they wanted to find out were, what are the biggest concerns about vocabulary instruction in your district, school, or classroom? If you could ask vocabulary experts up to 5 questions, what would they be? So these questions were the questions that the authors had put in a survey, and these were the questions that they wanted reading teachers and general education teachers to answer about vocabulary instruction. So, what do they think is most successful in their classroom, school, district with respect to vocabulary? And what are the resources, books, videos, articles, materials, others that have been most helpful for you in carrying out your work? So these are the questions that in the survey that they're going to send out that they'll have the teachers answer to find out about vocabulary instruction within their school, district, or classroom. So the participants and context, so who's being studied. There's 72 educators that had responded to this survey, 21 reading educators from the surrounding area who filled out an electronic survey online, and 51 reading educators who were attending a regional professional meeting about vocabulary. What was the context of the study? The educators were from the greater metropolitan area of a large Midwestern U.S. city. They taught in grades ranging from pre-K to college, with 56% of the people working in elementary grades. They had educational experience from 1 year all the way up until 15 years plus, with 75% of these people having 6 years or more of experience. 47 were classroom teachers, and 24 people were reading specialists or literacy coaches. So for the research methodology data, what data did the researchers collect? So the researchers collected data through a survey, which asked about basic demographic information, about where their school was, about the students within their classroom. Then it asked the teachers for their questions and concerns about vocabulary instruction and learning. It asked about their strengths and the current practices they found effective in this vocabulary instruction that they were teaching, what resources they were currently using to support vocabulary growth in their classrooms, what their biggest concerns about vocabulary instruction in their district, school, or classroom. If they could ask experts up to 5 questions, what would they be? And what do they think is most successful in their classroom, school, district with respect to vocabulary? And what are the resources that have been most helpful for carrying out vocabulary instruction? So for the process, The data, when was the data collected? The data was collected only one time through a survey. Some people had the survey online, and then another group of people got a physical survey during their vocabulary professional meeting. And then the data was collected through a set of questions that teachers slash reading specialists had to answer. So this survey was only done one time. So the findings, what did the researchers find out from their study? So they found out that teachers expressed concern of a lack of district or building-wide consistency in vocabulary practice. So they found that there was no curriculum or that a teacher did not, that the teachers within a building were not teaching the same things with vocabulary because there was no curriculum on it. They found that all teachers are not on the same page when teaching vocabulary. They had concerns about inconsistencies or a lack of teacher training in vocabulary. Teachers wanted to participate in a building-wide or district-wide initiative for improving vocabulary instruction. Teachers are concerned about ways to implement a systematic program rather than a set of practices inside a single teacher's classroom. So teachers want to be unified in when they're teaching vocabulary instruction. They don't want it to be where just one teacher is teaching it a different way from another. So they want a program or a system that unifies them together for their instruction of vocabulary. And they have concerns about students' retention of words, of how to have students remember vocabulary. And teachers want to know that they are working in a place where they have a shared understanding of how to best increase students' vocabulary knowledge. Implications. So, what should we, classroom teachers, teacher specialists, future parents take away from this study? How should the findings influence what we do in our roles as teachers, specialists, future parents, and/or teacher leaders? So, educated teachers are aware of the needs of their students, their classrooms, and their schools. Classroom teachers and literacy specialists are aware of the need of a systematic and comprehensive they're aware of the need to be systematic and comprehensive in their instruction. So with vocabulary instruction, they're aware that they need to be able to work together and have a curriculum that for vocabulary that allows them to work together, but also to be on the same page when teaching this instruction, so that when they are going maybe from one grade to another, they're building on their skills instead of repeating the same vocabulary instruction. They're able to build upon it and work together. Teachers want to collaborate to create good vocabulary instruction. There's a weakness in teacher professional development. These teachers do not feel prepared or feel comfortable teaching vocabulary, that they need extra support when it comes to teaching this topic. The survey showed that educators are asking for a deeper understanding of the school's role in vocabulary development. This is a topic that is now just getting a light shined on it. And it's important for the school to realize that this is an area of development that needs to be developed and needs to be figured out, and that a new curriculum has to come in to support teachers, but also to support the growth of vocabulary within students. And there needs to be more models and instruction on how to teach vocabulary. This survey really shined light on that there needs to be models and instructions for vocabulary, and that teachers are willing to use it and get the support within the classroom. And wonderings, what did this study make me wonder? So after reading it, I wondered why there's not a nationwide initiative for vocabulary instruction. Um, there has been an increase of interest in vocabulary instruction, but I was wondering why there's not like a nationwide initiative for it. We know there has been studies that show that vocabulary instruction is super important for students, so why is there not a bigger push for this? Then my second question is, why have districts not adopted a unified curriculum on vocabulary? Teachers, especially in this article and in the survey, are willing to use a curriculum on vocabulary. And if there's such a need for it and teachers are asking for it, why is it not being, why have they not like adopted a curriculum? And my third question is, why have teachers not brought up this issue of there being a lack of curriculum on vocabulary? I think that their willingness to collaborate and work together on vocabulary instruction is very important, and that they are bringing up this issue now, but this is only one set of people within a certain area, and I wonder if other teachers are also finding this issue of lack of curriculum on vocabulary instruction. All right, well, that's the end of the presentation. I hope that you enjoyed. Bye.